I'm hoping we'll be able to use this bus ticket today because it's our last day here in Rome and the final day of this trip. Starting in London, then to Madrid, and all the way here in Rome, one thing I really didn't give importance was the hotel we stayed in. I mean, it wasn't all that bad, but we could have picked better ones. So for my next trip, I'll definitely put a little bit more effort in getting a better hotel. So the plan for today, since we've pretty much seen all the major landmarks here, we'll be exploring a few minor and local landmarks, which are located a little south of the city. And later on, we're going to this restaurant that my travel app says that serves the best pizza here in Rome. So to get to the first place we're going to, we'll have to take the bus and finally use these tickets we bought a few days ago. If you haven't seen my past videos, we had a hard time paying for the fare for the bus here. Well, first we didn't know you had to purchase a ticket at a store and place the ticket in a machine located in the center of the bus, which was really the problem because the bus here I noticed is always full, and reaching that machine with all the people is just impossible. But somehow, although this bus wasn't as full, I couldn't find that machine anywhere. So we got off the bus and again, we didn't use our card. It's kind of strange how the bus system here really works. You can just pretty much hop in and just hop off without paying. Although we really wanted to pay though, you know, but we even bought tickets for it. It's just that we don't know where to put it, or nobody's really asking for it. But anyway, we're gonna go to our first destination. This place is called Campo de Fiori, or Field of Flowers Square. It's an open air market, and because of its name, I thought they only sold flowers here, but I found out they also sell fresh produce, fish, a variety of ingredients, and all sorts of food here as well. This square got its name because this area was once a meadow back in the Middle Ages, and was also a venue for public executions. In fact, that statue right there in the middle of the market is the statue of Giordano Bruno. He was a philosopher who was charged of denying several Catholic doctrines and was burnt alive here for heresy. We're here because we're gonna try and find something to eat. They sell a whole bunch of like clothes, everything. All different kinds of produce here. Like fruits. Look at those grapes. These grapes are huge. Looks like they're all fresh too. Tomatoes. Everything looks fresh. It's the statue of Giordano Bruno I was talking about. It's right in the middle of this market, and it's sitting on the very spot where they burnt him to death. But I don't think we can find like food here that we can eat. It's mostly a marketplace. And a whole bunch of stuff that they sell. And all this like spices and stuff. It's pretty interesting. What is that? What's this? A truffle. Truffle slices. Oh yeah.
Sliced truffle. You can like taste. I have open, sir.
Oh yeah. We're just looking. Yeah.
You can taste it. Yeah. Truffle sauce, balsamic vinegar, limoncello, meloncello, watermelon, banana, pistachio.
You have everything.
Everything I have. Buongiorno ragazzi. Free taste.
He's giving us a free taste. Let's see. This is like spices and stuff. It's really nice. Like people who really loves to cook. This is like a paradise for them. Look at this. That's like meat. Like it's cooked. That's cooked already, huh? Looks like it's cooked. Look at that. A whole bunch of meats here. I was hoping they would sell some kind of street food here for us to eat for breakfast, but they didn't. Most of the stuff they're selling here are basically groceries. You know, if we were going to cook something, this place would have been perfect to get what we needed. Anyway, this market is open every morning from Monday through Saturday until 2 in the afternoon, and later in the evening, the bars and cafes surrounding the square takes over. Although I've read that since this place became a popular meeting place for young people at night, it became one of the most dangerous nighttime spots in the city. Well, mostly because people got drunk. Since we weren't able to find some food to eat at this market, we ended up walking around to find a place to have breakfast. And finding a restaurant that serves a good hearty meal this early in the morning is really hard to find. Not unless you like pastries and sandwiches. You'll find those almost everywhere. What time is it? Like 11? 10. Crap. We're so early. So the best thing we're gonna probably be able to eat is like in a bar again. What I meant was a cafe that serves sandwiches. See, I'm not really used to eating pastries in the morning, and I'm not into sweets at all, but I can do sandwiches. It's not what I prefer, but under the circumstance, I had no choice. Yeah, we'll find a cafe and have bread again. I don't know if you can hear me from it's too windy here. Well, we're gonna go around here somewhere. Alright, we found a place. Looks like it's open. We're gonna have some, oh, look what's inside. It's like a grocery store. Maybe there's sandwiches and stuff. They do have sandwiches here. Oh, let's see. And it's like a grocery store. And it's a huge grocery store. There's more pizza right here. Yeah, we didn't like it. The food wasn't... There's not a lot of food in there. They had some food, but it wasn't that appealing to us. And also they didn't have enough selections to choose from. So, we found another place right here. This place. We found this one. Cafe Peru. Let's see. We have some coffee and some other stuff. Let's see. It looks like they have breakfast here. Alright, let's go. Look at those sandwiches. These sandwiches look really good, so we ended up eating here. These sandwiches are called tramazzini, which is a triangular Italian sandwich. It was invented in 1925 as a counterpart to English tea sandwiches. We ordered two different kinds of tramazzini. One is a salame picante with mozzarella and rucola. The other one is called bresaola, and it's with mozzarella and rucola as well. With the sandwiches, we also got these. Coffee, again, and tea. I know in my videos, it looks like I like tea, because I've had it multiple times, but I'm not really much of a tea drinker. It's just every time I travel, I like to drink tea, because I feel it helps ease my stomach from all the food I eat. It's probably psychological, but I think it really works. I guess I have to brew it in there. That's okay. I don't really drink tea that much. The first thing I'm gonna try is this one. So this is the bresaola with mozzarella and rucola. Bresaola is dried salted beef that has been aged for a few months. That's why it has that dark red color to it. It originated in Valtellina, which is a valley in the region of Lombardy, located in northern Italy. Anyway, bresaola, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is commonly served room temp or slightly chilled and cut thinly. Well, this is obviously in a sandwich with mozzarella and rucola, which I thought was lettuce because I don't really know what rucola is. They don't have any like mayo or anything in there. It doesn't taste like bacon. It's good. I can really taste the meat on this one. It's not like the one in Spain, the jamon. I can't really taste any of the meat there, but this one I can really taste the meat. I'll try this one. While they're busy breaking plates and cups back there, I'm going to try the salami. Salami is cured sausage with a mix of fermented and air-dried meat, commonly pork. It's very popular all over Europe, and especially for the poor people back then, because it doesn't go bad even if you store it at room temp for over a month. I'm not really sure where this originated, but it's been around for thousands of years. Anyway, this sandwich is pretty much the same. It had mozzarella and rucola, and a thin layer of mayo. I like this one better. This one tastes better. Very nice. Like I said, I like the bresaola better than the salami. It just had more flavor. So after breakfast, we headed to a villa called the Villa Fornaschia that was built in 1506 for a rich banker and treasurer of Pope Julius II. Today it's owned by the Italian state and it's open to the public as a gallery that exhibits frescoes and paintings from famous artists such as Raphael and many others. I think it's this villa. As usual, I came here unprepared, not knowing anything about the place, and all I know is that it's a gallery. So as we entered the villa, the first thing I looked for was the ticket counter, and we didn't find one. People were just walking in and out of the villa. I figured it's probably at the entrance inside the building, but it wasn't. So we just continued on and explored the place. The history of this villa was pretty amazing. Although it's best known for Raphael's frescoes, Michelangelo was somehow connected to this place, but not through art. He doesn't have any works displayed here, but he did propose to link the Palazzo Farnese, which was on the other side of the river, by building a private bridge. I don't know why he wanted to do that, and I have no idea why I'm even mentioning it, because it was never even completed. Anyway, here's what you'll see inside this place. Looks nice. Fresco. These looks like blankets, but or curtains, but they're actually painted on the wall. Isn't that cool? It looks like it's drapes. Here's another room. Wow. Look at this room. So a lot of frescoes in this place. I don't know how we got a free tour to this place. Who knows, maybe the admission was free that day. But after a quick tour of the villa, we went to this popular pizzeria to try the best pizza in Rome my travel app was talking about. Actually, it says it has some of the most delicious pizza in the entire city of Rome. Okay, we're gonna have pizza here. This is the pizza that is, I don't know, it's highly recommended on the app, that is really authentic, so we'll see. As you can see, there's a lot of different kinds of pizza here. And we're just gonna order one. Which is, actually this one looks kind of interesting. Where's that one? Dar Poet, that's the name of their place. And what it has is, ooh, not the salami. So we decided to get the top, which is mushroom, sausage, and mixed cheese. Yep, that one. All the other stuff is kind of weird. It's just a lot. This is so awesome. That's the red wine. They usually serve red wines, or like not enough, like small amounts. And I ordered a beer. As we waited for our pizza, I decided to go back to the kitchen and film how they made it. It's because I've read that the reason why the pizzas here are good is because they bake them from a brick oven using wood as heat. Well, this would have been more special though if it was a real Italian guy cooking this. I think that guy's Filipino. It's right there. Anyway, they call this pizza top, and it's made with mozzarella cheese, porcini mushrooms, sausages, and mixed cream cheese. You know, the pizza we know now was invented in Naples in the 18th or 19th century, but it's really hard to say when or how it began because food similar to pizza can be traced 12,000 years ago, during the Neolithic Age or the New Stone Age. Then throughout the centuries, you'll hear about soldiers baking flatbreads with cheese on top of their shields, and people adding ingredients such as oils, herbs, and vegetables would follow. Anyway, the traditional way of cooking pizza is exactly how they made it here. Oh, and just to make it clear for people who think they know how to properly eat pizza, People can eat pizza formally with a knife and fork or casually with bare hands, so either way is acceptable.
There's mushrooms in here. Mushrooms and sausage. Wow. You know what? Let's fork and spoon this. Good. Wow. Yeah. There's not a lot. I thought there's going to be like tomato sauce, but it's not tomato sauce. There's no sauce. It's just the pizza. One back. A bite. It's perfectly seasoned. I don't know where that saltiness is coming from. Yeah, maybe it's from the sausage. But the mushroom is pretty fresh. I can tell, right? It's definitely not from a can. That mushroom is really, really fresh. But the dough, man, it's so different when it's cooked in an oven like that. You know, because it maintains its consistency in the middle and it's crunchy on the outside.
I'm not sure how we ended up choosing this pizza, but I was expecting a traditional tomato sauce base. It's either they forgot it or they used some kind of white sauce instead. But to be honest, I can't say it's the best pizza I've ever had because I've had better. It doesn't really matter, I just love the way they made it.
Really good pizza.
So after lunch, we set off to the next place on our list, passing through streets packed with people and alleyways with little or no people at all. And from time to time, we'll pass by popular spots such as this.
So this is one of the famous restaurants here in Rome. It's like super small. Look at all these people waiting. But we just had our pizza, so we're not gonna eat right now. We're gonna go straight to our next stop, which is
the Mouth of Truth and a few other local landmarks close to it as well. But to get there, we had to cross this bridge called the Ponte Palatino, where you'll find a partially destroyed bridge called Ponce Aemilius, if I'm saying that right, or translated as Broken Bridge, that used to be here 2,000 years ago.
I'm not sure. I know where we are, but I'm not sure the names of these places. Like a forum is supposed to be here. There's the fountain of something, and right next to me is this. This is what I just found out is a temple because of that.
This is the Temple of Hercules Victor. It's a Roman temple situated here at the Forum Boarium. The Forum Boarium, which is this whole area by the way, was the site of the first gladiatorial contest here in Rome, which took place in 264 BC.
The Mouth of Truth, that's where we're going. But from where we came from, we have to pass these landmarks to go to the Mouth of Truth. But the Mouth of Truth is somewhere here. So we're headed that way right now.
It's funny how I thought the Temple of Hercules back there was the Forum. I didn't know this whole place I'm walking on is actually it. But next to the temple is this fountain, the Fountain of Tritons. There's also a fountain with the same name as we saw a few days back, which is called the Triton Fountain. The difference is that one had only one Triton, this one had two. Anyway, this fountain was completed in 1715, and I have to say, it's not as amazing as the other fountains we've seen here. It doesn't even have running water. But we didn't come here for this, we came here for the Mouth of Truth, which is located in that building back there, the Basilica of St. Mary in Cosmedin.
So this is the line to the Mouth of Truth, but it's actually right here. Watch.
If you haven't seen the movie Roman Holiday, well, you probably haven't heard of this marble sculpture. It was actually made famous by that movie. This is called the Mouth of Truth. It's basically a marble mask, but to me it looks more like a giant coin. Nobody really knows its purpose, but there's this tradition where you put your hand into the mask's mouth, and based on the legend, if you're not telling the truth, the mask will bite off your fingers. And because of that, it attracts millions of people to come and see this. They even have replicas of this sculpture scattered all over the world. like in Vegas, San Francisco, and Tokyo. Anyway, the marble weighs close to 3,000 pounds and has been sitting in this church since the 17th century. It's free to stick your hand in the mouth, and trust me, I wanted to do just that, but the line was too long. We still had a lot of places to see, so seeing people sticking their hands in the sculpture was good enough for me. So just a block behind the Mouth of Truth is this place. This is the Circus Maximus. Dating back to the 6th century BC in ancient Rome, this used to be a chariot racing stadium. It was the first largest stadium in Rome, and all the circuses in this city was based on this one. It's about 2,000 feet long and 400 feet wide, and could hold 150,000 people at one time. After the 6th century though, this place fell apart due mostly to flooding, and most of the original structures were used and relocated somewhere else. Today it functions as a park and it's often used for concerts and public meetings.
It's pretty big. I would say it's bigger than a football field. And we're gonna go straight in there and then go to our next destination after that. Circus Maximus. It's all pebbles.
Actually, the original track is buried 20 feet below this. Because of the flooding, all the dirt you see here are accumulated soil throughout the centuries. Not far from the Circus Maximus, we walk through this semi-looking park to get to the Baths of Caracalla.
Okay, we made it.
The Baths of Caracalla is the second largest public bath in Rome. I think the largest one is the Baths of Diocletian, which is right next to our hotel. This was built sometime between 212 to 217 AD and was used until the 530s. It is said that 1,600 people can bathe here at one time and about 6,000 to 8,000 people throughout the day.
So this is a public bath. I found out back then it's free. Everybody in Rome probably came here to take a bath. It's amazing.
When I entered the baths, I was impressed on how big this place was. Even though the structure is not complete anymore, they stopped using this place after the water supply got cut off because of the Gothic War in 537, and also it's located too far from where the populated area of the city was before.
It's probably huge because most of the stuff here, they're gone. It's gone.
Well, it's gone because it's mostly due to the earthquake in 847. It pretty much destroyed most of the structures here, but you'll still see some of the old decorations like the tile floors right here.
Probably filled with water back then, huh? Wow. It's like water. You can hear water. Watch. Can you hear that? That's like water.
That was actually a sound effect coming from the speaker that was set up inside that manhole. It's pretty cool how they added that because it gives this place that certain atmosphere or that sense of how this place must have sounded like. This whole place is rectangular in shape and is about 62 acres in size. Aside for the use of bathing, this complex offered a library, a circus room, and a place to relax and take walks. There was also an underground tunnels that was used to heat baths by burning around 10 tons of wood per day. And it was also discovered that people used the tunnels as a place of worship, which is kind of creepy, but that's what they do back then. After exploring the baths, we headed here to check out the Basilica of St. John Lateran. It was quite a long walk to get here, by the way.
We're going to the Basilica of San Giovanni, I think in St. John's Cathedral. Gotta research what this is. I don't know what this is. Oh, here it is. Here's the St. John's right here. It looks like it's full of trash. It's supposed to be a nice church. From here you can actually see the paintings on the walls. But I don't think it's open. Here, I think this guy is Scusa.
Go on.
Oh, more? Okay.
This is the second passage.
Okay. Okay, in the back. Thank you. Grazie. Okay, that's the back part of the basilica. We have to go around. We have to go around here. Go to the entrance.
Before we went to the entrance, I found out that this is the Lateran obelisk, which is the tallest standing ancient Egyptian pillar in the world. And it is also the last Egyptian obelisk to be erected right here in 1588.
Alright, we found the church.
The Basilica of St. John Lateran is the oldest and the highest ranking of all major basilicas in Rome. Well, there are only 4. The St. Peter's Basilica, Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, Basilica di Santa Maria Maggiore, and this one. You know, I thought St. Peter's was the highest ranking of all of them, but I guess not. Anyway, this is the oldest public church in Rome, as well as the whole Western world. Built in the 14th century AD, it endured constructions due to fires, earthquakes, and eventually it was demolished and rebuilt completely in the 15th century, and it was finally completed in 1735. You can just imagine the history surrounding this church. It's just too much for me to say. I couldn't even finish reading all of it. But I guess the most important information I could say is that this is the head of all the churches in Rome, which pretty much means the whole world. It's basically the mother of all churches.
Alright, we're gonna go inside. Check out the basilica.